bit of cakes flying, and the next thing everyone's laughing, and that, you know, those sort of relationships, those moments, those touching moments mean, you know, they mean everything to me. No, it's good. I mean, it's, you know, it's good to see all the boys. The weather's not so good. It's rained a bit. Had a nice meal with the boys. And how are the kids? Ah. Now I'm leaving in the morning. I'll try and ring you when I can, but you appreciate that that's it's a long way away. Okay, darling. Bye.
Securing the best beans and enough of them to produce a fine chocolate bar in quantity requires Willie to undertake an arduous 12-hour car journey right across the top of Venezuela. It's critical that nothing goes wrong on the trip, because if Willie can't source enough high-quality beans, then his enterprise will be doomed from the start.
It's the big trip today. The weather's cleared up. It's the moment of truth as far as, you know, the Franceschi's telling me the beans are good. Now I'm finally going to get to see them, inspect the load. It's one of those long road trips that you always get that feeling anything can happen. That's why I always travel with someone. I'm doing my trip with T Ting, who's one of my great old friends. He's very street savvy. He had a farm up the road here. And he's a good laugh to travel with. He's, you know, he's one of those non-stop chatters. He's got a story about everything. It's literally right across Venezuela. I don't know, 500–600 kilometers. It's a serious trip.
The whole adventure is full of hazards, but if he's to acquire enough of the best cocoa beans in the world, Willie has no choice. Ahead lies a 400-mile journey across the top of the South American continent. It's acknowledged that this region of South America produces the finest cocoa beans grown anywhere in the world, but the supply is limited, and the personal relationships Willie has developed over many years are important to ensure he can guarantee long-term supplies for his new venture.
Getting in a car with a mission, not just, you know, traveling around to sightsee or something, with a mission to find something fantastic. Yeah, you know, and to have to drive 12 hours across Venezuela, fantastic.
The importance of getting the best flavour beans is even greater than it was when Willie was producing 100% cacao for cooking. The only thing he'll add to the cacao for his chocolate bar is a little sugar, so the taste is everything.
We've just stopped because we're absolutely starving. Buenas. Hay cachapa. And this is a cachapera, which is basically they get maize and grind it into a liquid, add a little bit of salt and sugar, and cook it like a pancake. Y tengo una idea. ¿You puedes poner un poco de cacao en la masa? ¿Sí puedes? ¿Sí? Okay. Y vuelta. ¿Qué piensas con la cacao?
Muy bueno.
Esto es muy bueno. Un buen sabor, ¿eh?
Pero quita el sabor al maíz.
Sí, ¿verdad? Ya sí, tiene sabor de cacao ahorita, ¿no? I'm launching my bar, you know, I'm trying to find the best beans with the flavors I'm talking about, you know, to launch it. That's always been my passion, my dream, is to hold one of my chocolate bars in my hand, you know. I mean, that's why I've been in this for 15 years. Look at that bus, man.
The following day, Willie arrives safely in Rio Caribe. Founded in 1713 by the Spanish, the town has always been associated with cocoa. So much so that not only are the beans Willie hopes to buy named after the place, but the entire area is known as the Chocolate Coast.
Sí,
Hola, sí, ¿cómo estás tú? Bien, chévere. So when do you think your Rio Caribe crop will come?
December.
In December.
Usually goes at the end of October and November, and now it's
So would it be possible to get my beans to meet your truck again?
yes.
And in, say, the end of December?
Yes.
And then I can take another load of Rio then?
Yes. You will see the size of the okumares. We have a small quantity of okumare beans drying on the patios.
Okay.
Juan Franceschi's family have been growing cocoa at Hacienda San Jose for 180 years. While they grow various types of cocoa beans, unlike most haciendas, they concentrate on varieties from the rarer, more flavorful Criollo and Trinitario families.
Yeah, so what's going on now is they've prepared my lot. And we're going to go in, and I brought Ciclio, who's like a cacao expert, and we're going to check the beans. We'll take samples from about 30% of the bags. We'll take 100 beans and put them into this little slicer, and we'll slice them in half to check there's no mold inside them. And then we'll get those beans and we'll put them into a machine which tests humidity, because obviously it's key you haven't got too high a humidity, because, you know, I'd be buying water. For example, if it had 4% too much humidity, over 25 tons, that would be a ton of water. So it's really key we've got a nice, reasonably low humidity.
Vamos, let's go, let's have a chat. So, what do you think, Ezequiel?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
¿Qué piensas?
Ese lote hay que resecarlo en los secaderos y bajar un poco más la humedad.
Sí.
Muy bueno, excelente. ¿Está?
¿Verdad? Sí.
Muy bueno.
Yo creo también.
Excelente, sí.
Yo creo también. So, yeah, Juan's great. I mean, I can see myself making a really good bar of chocolate back in England.
This one is we already got, you know, a fixed price.
Because the world prices have gone down to they have gone down to 2,000. So, so for me, I would have thought somewhere around 3 was a more sensible price.
Yeah,
and
I know.
And that would even be giving a good reflection, because really, if you were to take 30%...
I know, maybe, what I'm telling you, maybe the next ones we should do at that prices, but this one we bought it, you know.
Yeah, okay, so, okay.
Okay, that's why maybe... I was telling you about 34 or 50, but I could go to 34.
33?
Well, I have to check my...
You're going to have to check.
Yeah, but...
yeah.
Anyway, if I can make it, it's a deal.
It's a deal, okay. Great, perfect one, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Though the terrain and the negotiating have been tough, the trip back to Venezuela for Willie has been restoring.
Okay, Juan.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. It's a deal. Thank you very much.
It'll be another year before he returns to Venezuela and sees teating again. But before then, it's going to be down to earth with a bang as he gets on to the next stage of his adventure. If he's to produce a top chocolate bar in volume, he needs a whole new set of fully automated equipment. But the modern machinery Willie requires doesn't come cheap. And with Willie's financial situation in such a dubious state, he's forced to make exhausting trips up and down Britain and across Europe to get the best prices possible.
Yeah, I realise the price is going to govern a lot of what I can afford because they are quite expensive. It's been a big one. I mean, I've gone to Malaga, I've seen a ton of equipment, I've seen some brand new stuff. I've basically got my head full of now exactly what I'm going to buy, and I've got to make that choice when I get home. And I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I hit it. I think money. I woke up the other morning and I thought, dollars. It's money. Oh, it's money, it's money, and it's money. And it worries me. I don't get a machine. I think I might have to buy the new one. And it's expensive. It's almost impossible to know what your figures are until you know what everything costs. And that's what this exercise was. I'm going home. I know what everything costs now. And now I'm going to decide what I'm going to do.
Tomorrow night, there are many setbacks ahead for Willie's single-handed challenge to the giant confectionery industry. And Willie's taken to the brink of disaster when the cargo of precious beans arrives from Venezuela.
And all the factory you built, and all the money you put in, and every bit of effort suddenly is precariously on the edge, potentially, of some great cliff.
There's a massive amount of problems. We'll have to see. I simply don't know anymore.
For an interview with Willie about his adventures and for all the recipes on the show, go to channel4.com/food. On Thursday, a city dealer quits the day job to eke out a more honest living around the world in 80 trades at 10. Next, though, teenage excess, a ticking health time bomb that is pushing NHS staff to the limits of their endurance in the hospital.